Good evening, everyone. Hopefully everyone's doing okay. You can hear me just fine. We are live and doing Let's Create, a live show where we take a mechanic from any game and try to recreate it live on air with you, right in front of you. And the topic of discussion today is Diablo. Like many people, I've been playing a lot of Diablo lately, and my main is currently a sorcerer. And when I was playing it, I really like the Frost Nova effect that happened with the sorcerer. So what happens when you obviously freeze people, you have these nice icicle particles coming off of them in the opposite direction from where you are. And it looks really neat. I was like, ooh, I wonder if we could figure out how to do that. And that's what we're going to do today, is try and figure out how to do that. So way this works, we're going with no prep really. Just thinking about it, that's about it really. So we'll bash it together and see what comes of this, and hopefully try and get it working, and also try and make it so it slows down or freezes enemies in the spot as well. Okay, so hello everyone, thank you for joining us live, everyone who is here. Hiya, first and last, Dalos, hello Murdoch, Zionix and Joel, hello, how you doing? Before we get started, a quick reminder, we do have our Games Jam starting August 5th, so make sure you are signed up to the itch.io page for the Games Jam to take part in it. It's free to sign up and absolutely anyone can take part in it. And don't forget as well my announcement I made a couple of days ago, no, last week, whenever it was, about the creator challenges coming soon to Patreon's members, where you can take part in a challenge each month and get feedback upon your submission, and yeah, it'd be cool. So more details on that coming very soon. So hello, hi Hayes, hi Ariel, hello Busy, hello. So let's do this. Right, so the first thing I want to try and nail down is the effect, the Niagara effect, because ability wise I think we can handle that, it's not a problem. I think the tricky one is going to be the Niagara system, so I'm going to try and work that one out first. So first of all, let's create the Niagara system. And we'll go Niagara system, empty system, and Frost. No, we call it a frozen character. Okay. So the idea is that when we set off this area of effect spell, it would impact multiple people, and each one will get a Niagara system that spawns on them. However, each one's Niagara system does very little based upon the vector between the player and the target. So we have to send it that information. That's one thing we need to know. And we also need to build the 3D meshes, because we have to draw it on our component, on our character, to freeze them in place. So lots of cool things to do and break down. And if you was here when I talked about how to get good at Unreal Engine, what I'm doing right there is just breaking down the problem, breaking it down into the individual parts that I need to try and solve. So let's first of all just try and solving the affecting multiple characters in the area with this Niagara effect, and do a simple Niagara effect, and then we can make it more complex and layer it on. And that's what you usually find is better with Niagara systems, is layering on different effects until you get to where you want it to go. Hi Rusty, good to see you again. Hi Alpha, how you doing? Hi Jonas. So let's put in some let's just put in the third person characters in here. These will be our like enemies, so to speak. Another one. Right there. And do one more. Over there. Okay, so there's our enemies we're going to be having in this scene. Okay, so we've got a spawn and icon system on each one of these based on the radius. So let's do the effect of the ability. So ability systems tend to like fall into two actors you need. You need the ability itself, the thing that manages what the ability does, how it works, what its cost is, and so on. And then you have the effects, and an ability can have multiple effects assigned to it. So like, for example, Frost Nova will do a bit of damage, will do freezing, make people vulnerable, etc. Okay, so we're just going to do an actor ability. Now, one thing to note is we've actually had to restart the action RPG series, and there's 3 episodes currently on Patreon, and a 4th one coming Monday or something like that. And we'll be doing this sort of exact ability system in that. So if you want to see more about this ability system, check that out on Patreon, and it'll be in the future, obviously, on YouTube. So need ability and effect, and we're going to create the effect child, and we'll call this one Frozen. And the ability we're going to create a child of, call it Frost Nova. Ability Frost Nova. There we go. In the ability, the parent class of the ability, I'm not going to go into loads of details and setting up all the different variables, but the main thing we need is the effects it's going to have. So effects, the type here is effect, and it'd be a class reference of this, and it'd be an array, so you can have multiple effects assigned to a different ability. And close that. Go to the other ability, Frost Nova, the child of it. Go to effects, hit the plus, and choose effect Frozen. And that's the general skeleton build of like an ability system, okay? And anything else goes around those 2 things. So on the effect Frozen is what we want to do. So open this up, and what we're going to do on the event graph is we are going to do on begin play a radial damage, apply radial damage, and we're going to do base damage or whatever, doesn't really matter. Origin will be the location of the effect. Okay, so we'll spawn it on top of our player character. So we'll do get actor location, damage radius, which we self-explanatory what that is. It's how far away it's affected. We'll do 500 as a radius there. Now, damage type class. This is where we're going to tell our character later on that they're going to be frozen in place. Okay. So we'll make a damage type for that. We'll do that later. Damage causer. Do owner. And we'll say do full damage. So do full damage just means like if it's close to them, it'll have more. If you don't have it ticked on, it means if they're close to them, they'll have more damage than those that are further away. Obviously, if you tick that box, it means you're going to get a flat rate damage across everyone. Okay, so apply radial damage to that. Next, we're going to have to apply the frozen effect onto our Frost Nova people. So we're going to add on here a sphere collision. And I'm going to set the radius of this one to be the same as my damage radius of the 500. So it matches. And then on the sphere here, oh sorry, not on the sphere, on the begin play, we're going to take out the sphere, get overlapping actors, and I'm going to choose our 3rd person character class, and I just want it to ignore myself, the owner of this thing, the player character. Though might as well should also do this on here. Make array, get player character. Otherwise, it's going to hit me, which we don't want. So yeah, that'll do. And then on overlapping actors, we also want to remove this. So I want to just drag this out, promote to a variable. Sure. Hi Jesper, good to see you again. So the reason why I'm promoting this to a variable is because I'm going to want to remove something from it. And if I were to just drag from here and do remove item, for example, I'm not going to get that. You can't call back to that reference again, because every time you call back to one of these functions, it gets a fresh one. So you can't do it like that. So what you need to do is promote it to a variable first, and then you call remove. And then because it is the same one, it'll remain remove. Why do you put ignore actors in an array? Because it's asking for an array, so you can have, because it's expecting a list of actors, but we have to make an array anyway because it only accepts an array. We can't just plug one value in. Yeah, it'll convert it. So it'll just do what we just did there. Remove. Okay, and remove, it's going to be get player character. And put that in there. Okay, so that will clean that up. And that means now all the overlapping actors here, we can now spawn the Niagara system effect on it. So I'm going to do a for each loop. And on the array element here, we're going to do, not array element there, sorry, on loop body, spawn system. So there's two different things. You'll see there's spawn system and there's spawn emitter. Emitter is for cascade, the old particle system. Niagara is using spawn system. So that's the big difference there. Make sure we don't mess that up. So we're going to do spawn system at location like that. We're going to choose our frozen Niagara system. Location. We're going to spawn it on the location of the actor. So get actor location. Plug that in. Rotation and scale doesn't matter. And those are fine. And then we'll be coming back here later to give it our own custom parameters. So we can send it like the vector between my player and the target. Because that has to be all unique. So we have to send it over. But we'll do that in a moment. But that's the general gist of it. So, on the particle system, NS frozen, we're going to make an emitter. Now we'll choose an empty emitter. And as I just want to see if this works. I can see like each of the characters getting like a simple particle in them. I'm not worried about it looking any good yet at the moment. So I want to leave it as the default material here. And on emitter update, I'm just going to do spawn burst and spawn 1. Okay, so I'm going to get a white circle. Well, I should get a white circle on every one of my actors here. Okay. Oh, I've also got to set up an input to actually trigger this. Hold on. That's a character. And we'll just do the 1 key. Spawn actor from class. We'll spawn the ability Frost Nova. Spawn transform. The actors transform. And I also need to tell my ability to actually spawn the effects as well. So we'll go back to my ability parent class. And on begin play, we'll take the effects, do a for each, and spawn each one of these in. Spawn actor from class, plug in the class, and the spawn transform is the same transform. Okay. Is there a benefit to having emitters just locally to the system rather than independent? If you feel like you're going to reuse them in other systems, yes, it's better to have them as separate things. If you're doing like a full-blown magic system, I'd recommend doing it as separate things because then it makes it easier to sort of like compile together some like magic spells without having to do weird, wonderful things. And you can also make it so they are parameter based too, and yeah. So if you feel like you're going to be doing a lot of it, I'd recommend using outside external emitters, bringing them in. But yeah, you can always edit them, it's no problem. Okay, so I think if this will all the chain is up correctly, when I hit 1, it will spawn the ability, which in turn will spawn the effect on each one of my characters, which will then in turn spawn an Niagara system on each one of these characters. So we should see a white circle appear on each one if they're in range. Well, something's spawning, but I'm not getting it. Hold on. Okay, so not working. So we need to figure that one out. Let me just pin it down. Okay, so spawning ability, which spawns in our effects. I definitely set the effect up on Frost Nova, didn't I? Yep. So spawn Frost Nova. That does that. Frost Nova. Overlapping actors. Did I overlap everything? I'll just overlap custom. I just do. Actually, no, sorry, no collision. Custom. Collision enabled. We'll do query only. And we'll ignore everything but overlap pawns only. Okay, so what I'm going to do also here is add a breakpoint in. So if I do that here, it'll be easier for me to determine what we're actually hitting here. So we're going to get really close to at least one of them. Okay, so we're spawning that in. Overlapping actors, number 0. That's concerning. We haven't got any overlapping actors in our sphere. Now, is that a collision issue or a build issue? So to check that's not a build issue, I'm gonna go on gameplay and put a little delay in here. This can sometimes happen when you're spawning things in and the collision hasn't been registered yet in the system. So there you go. Now I'm getting 4. Yeah. So as I said, like it takes like a tick or so to get the collision system up and running. Like all the components, they have to do their begin play and all come in like that. So a little delay works wonders. You can just do that and it will stop that from happening. Yeah. So be surprised how often that happens. And that's by the way the proper use for delay for things like that. It's like a tiny little delay. Okay. So well, I've taken that off. So if I go in here now, we should see hopefully. Yay! The Niagara system spawned on each of the 3 enemies, but not me. And we can now start building out our Niagara system. Cool stuff. Okay, so frozen. So this is the tricky bit. This is the bit that I was dreading to figure out. So first of all, I need to spawn meshes for the spikes. And I need to spawn on top of a component as well. Location on components. So let's first of all spawn sprites first of all. We'll worry about meshes in a second. So let's go into. Yeah, you can also do. Yeah, you can just do 0 delay. You could do. Yeah, you could do so. But pointless. 0.2 doesn't matter. Okay, so in here we need to do a particle spawn location, and we want to use a skeletal mesh location. Okay, click on that. In here you're gonna have a few things you need to set up. So over here we've got source mode. This is where it's going to read the mesh from. We want to read it from the attached parent. Okay, this means whatever you spawn and attach this to, which we haven't attached it, we needed to attach it, it should get the mesh from it. Okay, for preview, this is just for like here. I'm going to just use as melee like that. Okay, next we've got to set up the sampling, which I don't know if you'll see because my face is in the way. Let me move my face over here. So the sampling mode, this is where it's going to sample locations on the character. Let me just spawn a lot of these in first of all so you can see how this works. Do 50. Yeah, you can kind of see it building out a shape of a mesh. If I make them smaller, make it even easier to see. Yeah, you can kind of see it going on. Yeah. So yeah, so by default it's going to be on bone. So each one of these particles are going to spawn on a bone on your character on the mesh that's been sampled. But you've got other things. You can do sockets, bones and sockets, triangles or vertices. Your mesh will have more vertices than any of these other things. So if you need to appear everywhere, use that. Triangles, there's a lot of them, but no, not as much as a vertex. But if I do that there, I'll get a lot more getting spawned in. And if I spawn a lot in, so let's change it to 500, you can kind of see more of the shape of the mesh. Yeah, doing this thing, which is kind of cool. So we don't need that many though. We can do 50. Okay, so that's going to spawn in there. Random, all triangles. Yeah, all triangles. Okay, that's what that'll do. So again, I'm going to test at each stage to make sure things are working as intended. So the thing I want to test now is, can it read the attached parent source of this mesh? Okay. Warnings. What warnings have I got? It just says me I have warnings. That's useful. It doesn't actually tell me what warning it is. Alright, we'll ignore it. I don't know what's going on. Oh, yeah, so it needs CPU access. There we go. Fix that. There we go. There we go. Right. So I need to attach it to them. So when I spawn them in, I've got spawn system at location. I need a spawn system attached. So spawn system attached. Frozen. And we're going to attach to a component. We're going to attach to the mesh. Oh wait, is this an actor reference, isn't it? Okay. We'll just have to hi MMK. Just do a simple cast for now. Cast a character. Pure cast. And we'll just get a mesh like that. That will do. Okay. None. Location type. I want to snap the target, including scale. Auto activate, and we'll do auto destroy as well. Right. So, if this works, we should see the meshes, the particles appear all over the meshes. No. Okay, so they're all appearing at the bottom there. See, it's extra bright. That means they're all layering on top of each other. So let's work out why that's not working. So the mesh here, source mode, attached parent. Only use the parent actor or component the system is attached to, which it is. Source actor doesn't matter because we're attaching it to something. Mesh user parameter. No. Skinny mode, skin on the fly. Yeah. Ideally, we want to use this attach parent because then we can attach it to any shape, creature, monster, enemy, whatever, and it would conform to their shape. But need to connect to the actor itself. It says it can do component or actor. Well, I'll try with actor. Or I mean, it needs a component to attach it or something. Could just do the root, maybe. We'll just do the root. Alright, let's take a look at that one. Nope, all still spawning at 0, 0, 0. Put that back. I'm just going to just change this to like head, for example. Can it do that? No. Okay, we'll do source. Okay, so the source mode here, we can pass it through on this spawn system attached, and we can then do set skeletal. No, what is it called? Set Niagara skeletal mesh component. Yeah, it is that one. Set skeletal Niagara skeletal mesh component. Do that. And the skeletal mesh we want to use is this one. Okay. Now we're going to get anything different. No. I'm spawning it in, but we're not getting any. Let me go back to, did I change all the settings I need to? Source. Mesh user parameter doesn't matter. Source actor doesn't matter. Either set explicitly or via blueprint with, well, we're not doing it explicitly, and also it's grayed out for some reason. And set, that's done with blueprint. Okay, I'm going to change from spawn burst to spawn rate for a second. So I've spawned them in, they're definitely in. I don't know where they're. Oh, they're up here. Okay, so hang on. No. Okay, so they're doing something. Why are they up here then? Snap the target. I do keep wild position rather than snap the target. Nope. Where are they? That's annoying. What's going on here then? Location type, yeah. Location. Turn it off and do snap to. Yeah. Nope. Is an icon system being attached to each character component when spawning? I missed that. Yes, it is, yeah. It's just not spawning it in the right place, so... How long were you on Unreal? I've been using Unreal Engine for about 7 years now, I think it is. About 6 months before I started the channel, I've been using Unreal Engine. But I was using other engines before Unreal. So I brought in a bit of prior knowledge to it. Where I'm going? Over here. Right. Right, rather than attach it, I'm going to just spawn system. Spawn system at location. Frozen, that location. That into there, that into there. Where are they? Let me just check out. Always check out 0, 0 because sometimes. No. The hell. They're definitely getting spawned in. We should be seeing this. Spawn system at location. Yeah. Yeah. Is it this that's breaking it? Because it should be just at that location. I'm really confused. Right, I want to make a move, make it easier to see where the hell they're spawning. Set velocity, sure. Right, just make it a bit easier. Uncheck auto destroyer. Yeah, I mean I should be sticking around for at least 5 seconds, but yeah, we'll want 10 off there. Okay, so I think they're actually spawning. Okay, so I think they're spawning inside the mesh. Yeah. I know. So, on here, I believe. Yeah. So down here on the it is. So down here, position sampling, apply to rigid, apply soft, apply out offset. You want to apply it on the skin, so I think it's going to apply it to the inside. There's a way to do that. sample mesh, coordinates, sample position offset, sample mesh. Yeah, that should be right. It used to be, but then again, I haven't done 5.2. There was a thing you could do that made it apply it on the outside. And it still wasn't applying it everywhere, it was just applying it to one location. It should be applied to the whole thing. Right. No, we should see it going on all the skin of the character. Oh, what's going on? Right, rather than use the surface, let's use the bones and maybe like bones instead. Nope, same problem. Again, it's spawning its location, which is, it looks like it's spawning its pelvis, which makes sense. That's the location of the character. I just don't get why it's not. Oh, I didn't bloody attach it. No, sorry, my bad. Idiot moment. Nope, still not doing it. God's sake. Why won't you work? Okay, so let's do this then. The source actor from which the sample takes precedence over direct mesh. Note that this can only be set when used as a user variable on a component in the world. Mesh user parameter, skin mode, skin fly, something regions. I just don't get what it's not doing. Yes, they are saved later on, but 2 weeks exclusive to Patreon members, and then everyone gets them 2 weeks like that. 2 weeks afterwards. Okay. I've definitely had this working before. So why is this not working now? Oh. User parameter, skeletal mesh, my mesh, we'll call it. And then on skeletal mesh over here, no, why can't I change that there? Override my mesh. And why can't I use that? Only be set as a user variable on the thing. So I can set this here, but that's not this. It's very irritating because I definitely had this working before once, like in 5.0 I think it was. Okay, let's try it then. No, it's not gonna work. Most particles and bone socket also got bone attributes. Underlying mesh something mode used. I'm gonna try it back on attached parent because I say best. Right, let's go. I'm gonna try to attach it instead. Spawn system attached. Do you know maybe do parameters? No. Spawn system attached. Like system, location, attached to component. Snap to target, sure. I'll leave that blank for now. Oh, hold on. And double check that I've got it set to attached parent. Yep. Right. There you go. Don't know why it's working now, but it's working now. That's weird. Why is it working now? Maybe because I chose bones? No, I literally done the exact same thing last time. Well, I'm confused. Why is that working now? Is it because I changed the bones? Let's change it back to triangles. Maybe it can't sample triangles from an attached parent. Okay, so I think that's the issue. It couldn't sample the triangles. What about vertices? Can you do that? That's a weird problem. No. So literally only bones I can do, which is, you know, all right for what we need it to do today. There we go. Strange. I'm guessing then maybe you need it to be vertices or triangles. It has to be a component on an actor rather than spawned in, maybe. Maybe. That's something to investigate later. But anyway, so we've got this thing going on. Okay, so that works. So we want to take out the add velocity. We don't want to obviously do that. We're going to delete that. And instead we're going to spawn meshes. So rather than spawning these little sprites, we're going to spawn a 3D mesh of like an icicle looking thing. Okay. Now I did bring in a marketplace pack that has stuff. I don't know if it has the right stuff, but it has stuff in it. So we just change this to filter out for static meshes. And what have we got here that we can use? So we've got some icicle looking things. What are these like? If not, I can always make one and use modeling mode. Annoyingly not orientated the right way I want them to. But we can try and work with this, I guess. But I say if not, we all can make our own. Let's make our own. Let's see if we can make our own in modding mode. So start with a cone because it's the closest thing to it. Actually, no, not that one. We'll change this down to radius of 10, height of 30. Slices we'll do like 6. Oh, not 63, 6. Height subdivisions 1 5. No, we'll do 3. And click. There we go. Accept. And we'll just edit. Get this loop. Ooh. Just move that. Turn snap off. Like that. Is there a shortcut to getting the whole edge loop? I guess not. And set that. There we go. And we'll apply ice to it. this one like that? Yeah, that'll do. One icicle. Okay. Marketplace is a nice fee for month session that's worth checking out. Yes, it does. Do check it out. Also check out the Humble Bundle. There's quite a lot of stuff on Humble Bundle at the moment. That's like relatively cheap. Definitely check out that. I always buy everything that comes up there. So right, we've got the icicle in there. So whenever you use modeling tools, the thing you just made should be in the maps folder next to where the map is. It'll be generated. You'll see there's that cone there. Let me actually apply the ice material in here. Ice. Ice text. I mean, it doesn't really matter which one. Yeah, that'll do. Right, save that. So this thing, we're not going to spawn sprites. We're going to spawn in meshes. I'm going to turn that off and add in a mesh. And the mesh I'm going to spawn in is going to be my little ice cube, which I should have renamed because it's going to have a random name. Ice spike. And we'll choose ice spike from the list. There it is. And so we can get them spawning like this. Now you see they're spawning in all in random directions, which is not what we want, but it's a good start, okay? So let's first of all get them not to do that. So over here we've got well, we want to change it on the over here. We want to change it. So particle spawn, we'll do mesh. We don't have it there. Go add particle spawn here, mesh orientation. There we go. And I'm going to set, rather than random, I'm going to set it to one direction. So I'm going to orient to vector and just do it to one thing here. Okay. So starting there, but I think what it's using now is using like it's got loads of like using the bone normals as its rotation vector. So I want an orientation coordinate space. I'm going to change that from there to world instead. No, why is it still doing that? It shouldn't be doing that. Orient to vector 1. They should all be facing X. Just make sure nothing on here doing with the orientation sampling. We'll just output that. There we go. So I think the orientation sampling was overriding the mesh orientation. So we'll just do that instead, and that'll be gone to output. Okay, so if I want to change the mesh orientation vector here, if I type in, no, it's going to be like in the Z, isn't it? Yeah. Like that. Okay, so you can see the kind of effect you can do with these sort of things, okay? So I want it to go the vector away from my character. Okay, so this orientation vector will become a user parameter. So I'm going to get rid of this one. We don't need anymore. Go add and choose vector. And we'll just do a normal vector. And we'll do orientation vector. And we'll set this with a little drop down arrow to orientation vector. Like that. Now we probably will need to add on to that and manipulate it in some sort of way, because we ideally wanted my mesh to face to the right, but I didn't do that. But never mind, we'll make it work. So I'm going to go back to the effect frozen, and then from the spawn system attached here, we're going to do set vector, and we'll see set Niagara with variable vector 3, and we're going to put in the name here orientation vector, and for the in value I want to get the player character who spawned this thing in. So get player character, and I need to get the direction between them and this actor. So direction. Ooh, can't spell. Oh, I have to get the location first. Get location, and we'll do unit direction. So from the player character to this actor here. just do this location here. There we go. We pop. And that should give us the in value for this. Okay. Right. So let's see what effect this has. We need to obviously do more. Okay, so we've got... Okay, so no matter what, I'm need to rotate them that way. Okay. We can go into here. And so I can go to orientation vector here. If I can do combine vectors. No, what it's called? Vector. Hang on. Add vector. There you go, 2 vectors to add. So we're going to add in our orientation vector. And I'm going to rotate it in the Y. Oh, Y. Is that right? We'll see. Nope. Okay, so Z1. See if we're doing that sort of rotation. Right, let's see. Okay, so they all seem to be going the wrong way. No, I don't know actually. Hard to tell. Let me make it so the effect doesn't stick around and make it easier to test it. I'll change this down from loop to once. So every 2 seconds it dies. Just make sure this is set to auto destroy. There you go. So one here. Okay, so it's facing different direction. If I go here, do I get a different direction? Yes, I do. Okay, so we are getting something. I just need to rotate it and orientate it in different ways. Okay, so that is good. Okay, so I just need to go back to my additional vector here and just probably mess about with these ones. So let's try X as 1. Not X as 1, we'll try Y as 1. Let's see what that does. It's just going to... So it's definitely rotating different direction based upon me, which is good. It's just deciding what the hell this is doing. Yeah, I mean, it should be world space. I don't get why it's rotating up like that though. Mesh axis to orient. Let's change that from there to that instead. And see what happens there. Ha! So that one's going away from me. That one's going away from me. That one's going away from me. Huzzah! We did it. So the effect will spawn these icicles away from the character. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so let's need to sell the actual idea now. What we need to do is we're going to change the size of the mesh a little bit. So on the initialized particle module, we go down to mesh attributes, go to mesh scale, and we'll do random. No, not random uniform. We'll do random non-uniform. Got say. There we go. And I want to scale it in the Z. I think it's local. Is this local? We'll soon find out. Yeah. So I'm going to change that to 3. So I'll get some big ones and some little ones spawning in. Okay. So if I go in here now and hit 1, bang. Okay. Cool. Right, so rather than doing a spawn rate, we'll do a spawn burst. So turn spawn rate off, turn spawn burst on. And we're going to spawn in 50 of them. And go boom. So now these guys are frozen. And it looks like they've it's been an explosion basically out in my direction. That is looking cool. Okay, you like that. So that was the bit that I was going to think would be the hardest bit of this whole entire thing. So that's awesome. Nice. Cool. Okay. So let's do some other effects on there too, to indicate that they're more frozen looking. So we can also do some like frosty looking things. We'll do an emitter, empty. This will be sprite based, and we'll do spawn rate. And spawn rate here we'll do 30. No, we'll do 10. And the location I'm going to spawn these in, I'm going to spawn at the top and make them like snow down on it. So we're going to have the particle spawn. We'll do the shape location. We're going to change it to a box or plane. So, and we're going to make it flat. So I'm going to go to the box size and do Z as 0. And the rest of that I can leave alone. And I just want to offset this thing too. So I'm going to go to initialize particle, position offset, and add this to the height of the character, which is roughly 180 or so. But we'll put it 200. It should spawn up there. I'm going to change the sprite size down to uniform. Make them a lot smaller. We'll change that like to 5 maybe. Yeah, that'll do. And then we'll add some gravity to them. So particle update gravity. Force. Click fix to solve forces and velocity. And now they're dropping. But I want them to like float down a bit. So I'm going to change this down to like a little bit less. So we can do minus 200 on that one. Yeah. Maybe less than that. Minus 50. In fact, we could probably just do velocity actually instead, rather than doing that. Particle update. Add velocity. No, that one's away. Particle spawn velocity. There we go. And we'll change that to minus 30. Yeah. And in the X by 20. 10. I don't know. Something like that. And the emitter state here, we can say life cycle self. Loop behavior infinite, so it spawns for the infinite duration of the thing. Okay. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, well over there. Why are they over there? Discharge particle. Simulation position, yeah. Shape location. Yep. Why the hell is it over there then? World, no, local space. Yeah, why? What's so special about this location? Is it just here? Oh no, it's over here too. And over there. Okay, what's going on there? Because that looks like it's offset them by a distance from the server system. How does it manage that? Simulation position. We'll try that. No, where are they gone? Yeah, 0, 0. Okay, that's right. Simulation position. Why are we going over there, guys? Let me take the offset off for a second. Does it still spawn it way over there? This I need to detach because it'll be on the floor. Yeah, still over here. What's so special about that? Nope. Why is it doing it over there? Because I want to do like explosion stuff on it as well, so that's going to cause issues if it's spawning way over there. If it's simulations over there. What's special about what? Well, it's spawning the particles at like these fixed locations, which look like they're offsets from the back of the character. So they're spawning these things in. They're spawning over here, and like over here. But I don't get why. So that one is related to this one, I think. Or it could be that one there. And then this one's related to this one. Yeah, I think that one there is this one. And this one here is this character. And for some reason, they're spawning like way off. And they shouldn't be, because the particle here is set to simulation position. So it should spawn where this thing's been told to simulate. And this has been told to snap to target. Oh, wait. Snap to target including scale. Wait, is that doing an offset on that? I did keep wild position. Oh, to switch to free camera ray, it's F8. That unpossesses your character. Oh, there we go. The snap and the location were affecting each other. Right, cool. Right, we'll go back to that. And we add our offset back on. Change it a bit smaller again. Like 2 maybe. Only when it's some like subtle like bits on it. There we go. And loop behavior once. Loop duration, we'll do 5 seconds. Like that. Cool. Okay. My volume is very low. Is it? No one else has said anything. Hold on. It could be... Oh, yeah. How's that? Is that better? Try that out. Let me know if that is too loud, too low, whatever. Okay, so we've got that. Next, we want to do the Nova effect. The bit. Yeah. So, I need to create a sort of decal on the floor, basically. The one that's going to, like, blast away things. So I'm going to do a very simple decal. I'm not going to go into nutty stuff here. Decal. Well, it's not even a decal necessarily. It's just a sprite for it, I guess. Frost Nova material. And I'm also do a simple sphere mask. And we're going to do that in the U coordinate, and put that as the center as 0.5, radius 0.5, hardness sure 100, that'd be fine. And we'll do subtract, put that back on there, and change the radius here to 0.48. We'll now get a ring. So I'm going to put that onto my emissive, and I'm going to change this to be a translucent image and use that for my opacity as well. And for the emissive color, I'm actually going to multiply that as well by the particle color. Like that. Okay. So we get the ring, and we can color it in the particle system like that. Okie dokie. Right, now right, next. So this is going to be different from this frozen one, because this is going to be applied to each actor. This one's the one that spawns in and goes like that. So we need another one. Frost Nova. And we'll do an emitter. And we're going to choose our sprite from here. We'll do Frost Nova. Like that. And we're going to go to emitter update. We're going to go to here and do spawn burst. We're going to spawn one of them. And there's the one. Okay. Now I want this to spawn on the floor of the character, not looking at where the camera is. So I'm going to go to sprite renderer. And go to facing mode. Change from face camera to custom facing vector. For that, you need to add your own custom variable. So you go to user parameters, add vector to this vector, and we'll do orientation, we'll call it, and we'll set its value in the Z to be 1. And then all you do is go down to the sprite renderer, go down to the bindings, and if you like hover over this, it tells you custom facing vector. If the uses particles dot sprite facing vector attribute, so you go down here and find it. So particles sprite facing attribute, you just change that to your orientation one instead. So now it's on the floor, locked to the floor like that. And then I'm going to go to particle update, and we're going to do sprite and do scale sprite size. And we're going to go from we should see something. Uniform curve. Man, I've been a bit closer. We should see something moving. Why is it not doing anything? Scale sprite. So, oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot. One thing to note. The sprite size, when you do scale sprite size or anything to do with scaling or changing any like sprite size, mesh size, whatever, you can only do it if you initialize particle, you change the sprite size mode or mesh size, whatever one you're doing, to uniform or random, something else in here. So I'm gonna do uniform like that, and we should, yeah, there it is, really small, but we can see it. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to initialize particle and change this to the maximum size it's going to be. So I'll do 500. Okay, so you got this like growing circle type thing. Obviously, we're going to go a lot faster than this. So the particle size is done by the age of the character. As you see, normalized age. So 0 to 1 is normalized age. So all I have to do is change the age of the sprite, and that's it. So I change to like 0.5, and it goes a lot quicker. Yeah. Now, alongside this, I'm going to do like a sort of bubble effect to go out and do like some sort of cool, I don't know, thing on it. So do another material for this. And we'll do Frost Nova Bubble. Open this up. And this one will be left as a surface material because we're making a mesh mesh particle in a second. But blend mode, we're going to change to translucent. And we'll use a Fresnel node. We'll plug that into opacity. Ooh. And we're going to use emissive color as well, but we're going to multiply it by our particle color like we have done before. particle color. And what these red particle nodes do is they fetch data from the particle system, be it Cascade or Niagara, and feed it into here. So if I were to add color to the Niagara system, it would feed it into there. So that'll do for that. I'm not going to spend too long on that one. Okay, back to my Frost Nova, and we're going to do another emitter. And we're not going to do a sprite, we're going to do a mesh. And on the mesh here, I'm going to do a sphere. Sphere. And I'm going to do that one. And emitter update, we're going to add a burst for 1. And there's the 1. Initialized particle, mesh scale mode, we're going to say uniform. And we're putting the max size of it. So, 500? Is that too big? I think it's too big. Might be 50. Five. Sorry, it's 5. And I want it to be like in the ground a little bit too. Which this depends on like the actual mesh's route. So if I chose another sphere, chances are it would be one that is actually where I want it to actually be. But it's not a problem because we can just adjust it. Yeah, I'll just adjust it. So I've go to the initialized particle, and we go to position mode, position offset. In the Z here, I'm gonna do 50. No, minus 50. Sorry. And no. Because that is not going to be correct, is it? Oh, so it'd be a lot easier if we just found an actual sphere with the root in the right place. Sphere, let's try this one. I think that's the right one. I think it's positioning correctly, it's just the wrong size. So go down here, change it down to 1 again. Okay, looking at where the other one comes out to. Let's try it to 1.5. Yeah, something like that. And on the mesh render here, I'm going to change the material. So I'm going to go to enable material overrides, tick that. Override materials, add 1 to it. Open this up. And we're going to choose our Frost Nova bubble. Like so. And we've got this bubble effect going on. Okay. And on particle update, we're going to do scale mesh size. Scale mesh size. And we'll do that by a curve. And we'll do vector from curve. And I'll do it the other way around. So it's getting shrinking. I don't want it to shrinking. I want to change that from 1 there to 0. And this half here to be 1. So it gets bigger. Okay. Obviously, we've got to change its speed again. So we go to initialize particle, change its speed down to match this one, which is 0.5. Okay, and now we've got like a bubble effect going on as well. I'll pull that a bit closer, see a bit more. Bit hard to see because it's going really fast, but there we go. Then we just got color. So particle update here, we'll do color. Actually, we'll just do on spawn color. And we'll just change that to like an icy looking blue. Particle spawn here. Color. Again, another like icy sort of blue. Like that. Okay. And I'm going to change the system here to not loop. So it's going to do it once. So spawn once. That's it. And loop duration will do like 1 second. Okay, so when I push the button, I want it to spawn this thing in. And then it should spawn the other ones in as well. So that's going to be done on the ability. So we spawn the ability on our character's location. So we go to ability Frost Nova. I guess you could do it here. You could do it. Yeah, we can do it here. And on begin play, we'll do spawn system at location. And we're going to choose our Frost Nova. Location, get actor location. And the rest of it I can leave alone. Like that. Sure. Okay, so now we've got that going on. Although it is no longer capturing and spawning in the other systems. Why not? Why not doing that? I didn't change anything on this one. Anyone else getting too low audio? It shouldn't be. My meters are reaching like mid-yellow red, so it should be fine. It says that's what it says on my side anyway. Okay, good, Rusty. That's good to hear. Right. So why the hell is this not working? Is it right? Let me just. Right. The only thing that's different is I've put this on here. So let me just take that off. Okay. So that I've broken something else. What have I broken? So it was working. Frost Nova. Oh, yeah, here. So, no, that's the effect. No, that's the effect. Where's the ability? Did I not do? Ah, right, that's why. Yeah, overridden begin player. Didn't put the parent call there. Silly me. It's late. I forget things. Leave me alone. So there we go. Right, so do the generic stuff and do that stuff too. Cool beans. Okay. Okay, so that's the effect done for the Frost Nova type thing. If you want it to like keep them frozen in place for a certain amount of time, you can add a frozen damage type class to your characters. So you do that by going to blueprint class and go down to all classes, search for damage type, and select this, and this will be usually you want like a parent one, and then you do your children of it, do different things. So we'll do this one as, I don't know, ability damage class, whatever, and open it up. Now the thing I want to do in here is I wanted it to know who we're damaging with this damage type. Okay, you got two things you can do with damage classes. It's just a way of like handling certain things. So you can either do it inside the function itself or outside the function in another system. When we do the action RPG system, you'll see in that series, you'll see us do it a different way than we're doing right now because we don't have time. So I'm just going to go in here and add a variable to this. And this will be target actor. And we'll do a character. Reference there. We'll make it editable and expose on spawn. It doesn't really matter expose on spawn, but whatever. Okay, target actor goes into there, and then on the make a child of that, and make the frozen version of this. Okay, and on the frozen version of this, we want it to have a function here called free. No, not that function there. Sorry, delete that. Function on the parent class here. Function apply effect, for example. And in the inputs for this, we'll have the target actor. Character. Target. Set that target actor there. I believe you can do that. No, you can't do that. Take that off. We don't need it there. We need it here. And then what I'm going to do is I can leave that alone in the parent one. Close that. Go to the frozen one. Override. Apply effect. There you go. And I take this out and I can do set movement mode to none. Okay, I'll stop them from moving. As I said, this is a very different system, the way of doing it when we actually do it properly in an action RPG system, because you'll need a way to track how long these things last for, and it'd be like a debuff and doing things. So it'd be slightly different. But yeah, we'll do that. And it'll set their movement mode to none. You can't move. So yeah, when we do the ability Frost Nova, and we apply damage. In here, sorry, ability parent here. No, not ability. Who is it? Ability. Maybe it's effects. Yeah, sorry, it's effects. So effect Frozen here, we need to choose the damage class Frozen, and they can then receive that. And then on the character class, you have when they take radial damage, damage type. For this, we've set up an interface system as well in Action RPG. One at a time. We've gone a bit over. Class 2 damage ability class, and apply effect. And we need to know who the effect is being applied to. Self. Okay. So, for example, if I was to make these guys run around a bit, so if I go to third person character actually, and on begin play, tell them to get player character self. We'll just do a quick check here. It's not equal to self. AI move 2. Born be the character. I'll put that in there. That'll do. And then on a success, I'll just make it loop bound there again. Because, whatever. Just to demonstrate this, that's all. And then we're going to add in our volume, nav mesh bounds. Put that in there. Screw it. Okay, so alright, you're not going to come for me. Oh, yeah, I know why. It's because I've got this. It needs to be over here. Because this is not going to be turned true because it's not got a player controller. Sequence. Put that in there. Put that in there. No, put this one in there, then one will go up here. And on success, we go back to there just for the hell of it. There we go. Dirty method, but it'll do. Okay. Why are you not moving? Freeze him still. You should be moving. If it's not equal to self, I move to the pawn being the character. Let me add a breakpoint for that. We should get this pausing 3 times. Yep. 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 Nav mesh should be fine. Yep. So why aren't you guys moving? Oh, move. If it's failing, I'm going to print string the fail result. Is it succeeding? No. The destination doesn't matter when you've got a... Oh, crap. I forgot to plug in a target actor. Whoops. And it's not pawn. I've got it in the wrong place. Told you it's late. Pawn yourself. Target actor is who you're running towards. There we go. There we go. Right. And freeze. Boom. There we go. Okay. Obviously, I haven't got it so it resets, but we can freeze them in place. And there we go. Yay. A simple Frost Nova. And we've got tonight that nice Diablo 4 effect they have with the Ice Nova, where the icicles go away from you, based upon like it being like whoosh, explosion type thing. So yeah, cool effect. Okay, and obviously you can dress up a lot more and do a lot more stuff with it. But I'm really liking that. I'll probably like one step further. I would probably take it with more time. Is do another effect at the feet. And just show that the feet are frozen still, and just put like a giant like icicle at the foot to make it look like a big rock, like icicle. I think that looks pretty good though. Otherwise, yeah, we can get rid of this thing now. We don't need that in there. I like it. Very nice. Okay, brilliant. Well, that'll do for today. Thank you so much for joining us for that Let's Create. As I say, I like doing these things because it's like a live show where I can show you just my way of thinking and working things out. If it doesn't work, I'll figure out why it doesn't work. And hopefully you've seen some good tips of how to actually achieve that. Don't forget, we have got our Games Jam starting August 5th. So that runs from August 5th to the 8th. Coming very, very soon. You sign up over on itch.io. And just search for Ryan Lady Games and you'll find this Summer Games Jam in there. And if you're a Patreon member, look forward to the start of the Creator Challenge, which is an exclusive thing for Patreon members. And what it is, essentially, you'll get given a mini challenge to try and do on your own with no help, no tutorials. And as a way of like trying to test your abilities, you submit your work and then I'll do a video going through, feeding back and reviewing what you've done. And the best entry will get a exclusive Ryan Lady Games pin badge. If I can send it to you, that is, in the world. I'll ship it wherever. At no cost to you, all me. Okay, so I'll ship it to you as a saying, well done for taking part. That'll be exclusive to Patreon members. Obviously, if you're not a Patreon member, you can follow along at the end when we've submitted the feedback video. That'll be public to people on the channel, so you can see kind of feedback people are getting. And you can follow and try and do it yourself. But the feedback will be only for those who are submitting via Patreon. So if you're not a Patreon member, support the channel over on patreon.com/Ryan Laley. Massive thank you to everyone over there supporting the channel already. It's been great. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm sure you will anyway if you're watching it live. But thank you very much for watching. We'll be back again. Actually, no, sorry, we won't be back again. So next week we won't be back again because I'm on vacation. Shock horror, I'm actually taking some time off. So next Wednesday and next Saturday and the following Wednesday I won't be here, but there'll still be videos coming out at regular pace like usual. We've been filming like mad and editing like mad the past few days, so there's nothing changing on the channel. Just the live streams won't be happening, that's all. So no question time and no next week live stream, but we'll be back on August 5th live stream where we'll be launching our Game Jam. So check it out then. Thank you very much everyone. Take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all next time. Bye everyone.
Yeah.